Hello and welcome to Dario's Comic School, and today we'll talk about coloring your comics color like a boss. And there is no right or wrong answer how to color your comics, but I will show you what I do and why it's important. Yes, I mean, some comics will be black and white, and I think your black and white drawings, inking should do your heavy lifting. But not every comic is a Sin City. Some comics are colored, and I myself, where's my comic? I love coloring my comics, as you can see. This was the first issue of The Last Pickup Artist, and I went simple on this. The reason being because it was pretty economic to make it, because I'm the writer, penciler, inker, colorist. I print these babies and I ship them. So it needed to be streamlined and simple. And I noticed when I was doing my webcomic Barbarian Adventure, check it out here. It's not good to send people to other videos, but if you want to look at it, it's here, my Barbarian Adventure. But then I was using colors more similar to colors you can see here in Lopper, but not as simple as this. I was using let me see. I was using a different color. I had a color palette, and so for this, not that this is beautiful, but like when you look in here, this is one of my first comics. So please don't judge me too hard on this. But I was using the Marvel 63 color palette, and it is a beautiful color palette, and we will see it again, I think, in Bram Stoker's MikeMignola's Dracula, and in Batman Year One, and in Watchmen they use a similar palette. And restriction gives you the liberty to act, because there are not a million yellows, there are just like 2 or 3 yellows. And so that restricts you, and you have to work with what you have, but you can also use a different color palette. And I was using this color palette because, as you can see here, I was pretty inspired by 2 comics at that time. And it was, or maybe 3 comics at that time, and it was these 3 comics. It was comics of the 90s that were using this palette, but then I saw like Dave Mazzucchelli's Batman, and I don't know, I think this is kind of painted, some of the colors, but as you can see, it looks pretty moody, and I wanted this moody night scene Gotham look. And as you can see, raining in the car, everything looks pretty realistic here, because this is like the mundane day thing. But here, Bruce Wayne's emotions, just simple coloring. And I thought, man, this works. I mean, here Bruce Wayne comes home, he's bleeding, and as you can see, some very simple colors, just one tone on the cars each. The bumper gets a different one, and then just one red tone for the blood. Let's say 1 or 2 colors for the face, and then look at this. I mean, this feels and looks like a movie. And then he has the flashback. He remembers that time they went to go see Zorro, and then they get shot, and that is just blam blam, just white, not even sound words. And then the guy runs, and we see Bruce Wayne, and this is the coloring style. So some of you might find this boring, but it suited my style. And this is the first tip. when you want to draw or paint your comics, do yourself a favor. Don't get too complicated. I mean, stuff like this is very, very simple, but also it worked for me. I mean, it was my thing and it worked. And at that time, I was also reading like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. And what Frank Miller does here with the panels, like, I mean, this is like 12 panels and then a big one. He was working here with this, in German we call it raster. It's called frame, I guess. And as you can see, this is like 16 frames. And it's like diagonal and vertical, and he sees these as beats, like musical beats. And so he works with these. And he also splits them up when, let me see, Bruce Wayne always remembers his parents getting shot, like some heavy PTSD, and that's okay. But as you can see here, here he also splits them up. And as you can see, the coloring, I think this is Lynn Varley. And here we get some realistic colors for the people on the screen, but for his insides, for the movie screen that seems to light him, we get a cool blue. I think Lynn Varley painted this, but yeah. Again, the Zorro story. But yeah, that's. I think this is lighted like a movie, and people who do graphic novels or longer stories, they try to find a way to kind of to make it beautiful, but also to kind of stay economic. But these are not like the prime examples for beautiful coloring. We will come to MikeMignola. Let me see who painted this up, because like this, like look at this, just beautiful inks and then some simple coloring, and this looks like $1 million to me. It doesn't have to look all that impressive to you, because again, this is the comic school, and a good teacher usually does not tell you what you got to do. He exposes you to stuff, and he or she points you in the right direction. I want to see who colored this, but right now this is like famous as like the Dave Stewart coloring. As you can see, just really moody, and MikeMignola doing his stuff. But look at the colors, and if you're into different coloring, then that's where you should orient yourself. I'm just saying this did it for me. I was looking at the inks resonated with me, and I told myself, okay, if I'm going to color, I'm gonna copy this style, and there's no other way. At the beginning, you just need to copy, and then after a while, you get a certain feeling for the stuff. But as you can see, it just looks great. And again, this is MikeMignola. If he can do it, maybe we should learn from him. But then again, don't get boxed in only because they are doing something. But there's something here, like a certain simplicity, a certain economy of drawing and coloring, and that enables you to do a lot of stuff, a lot of volume repetition, so you get in the mastery. I was watching right now an Alex Hermosi video, and he talks about the one thing you go all in. And I think the one thing I should go all in is making comics. I don't say penciling, inking, or coloring, but my thing I should go all in again is like making comics and get to that level. So the quality is high enough so I can leverage it so that it becomes like really valuable. And as you can see, very simple. I don't know what color palette they're using, but with the Marvel, just Google it, Marvel or DC palette from the 80s or 90s. They're just using a limited amount of colors because newsprint couldn't take like everything, so they had to kind of limit. And look what's possible. What is possible for you when you limit your color palette? It seems almost lazy. Like, look, this is what Mike Mignola drew on this page, but he did a big fat album, and each page he made him stronger, better, and that's why he can't be fired, because he made himself just too valuable. And he got there by, I don't say have an economic style, because like I think David Finch doesn't have an economic style, and he made himself also very valuable. Also like Ethan Van Sciver, not that I'm the biggest fan, but I know that he loves to draw really intricate stuff. So I'm not saying do me or do Mike. I would say do you, and find out what you are. And if you need to color more than this, which I would do. I mean, for me, this would be just lazy. Just I couldn't do this. I need more, but it works. But you need to find out what suits you. And let me show you, before I show you Watchmen, because we're already at 12 minutes. This is like head Lopper, and the color palette suits my current me a bit more, because it's not so muted like the MikeMignola stuff. I like more the pulpy stuff, and as you can see, like the colors here are just so cool, so vibrant. But it's not even like two color tones. It's not even like, if I would do it, I would just do a rim light and then a darker flesh tone here. And I have two flesh tones, and I would just do a flesh tone here, a darker flesh tone here where the shadow hit, and on the light side I would maybe leave a little bit of white for the edge highlighting. And I don't know, I think Mike Spicer colors this, and he just keeps it very simple. Let me show you this. Like as you can see here, I don't know what she's called, but here exactly what I was talking about. The coloring of the body, like a brighter and a darker tone. The beard is just white. The gold is just one color, and that's enough. Like you don't need to break yourself while making this. And you might ask yourself, how can I color this? I have a video up here how I put in the colors digitally. You could also put in the colors via paint, gouache or aquarelle paint or acrylic paint. But that's a story for another day. And I follow the rules. Richard K. Russell, he's a comic colorist, and I watched once one of his comic coloring stuff, and he just goes here with a marker tool and then puts in a flat color, and then goes here with a beard and he puts a flat color. And my mentor Ralph Niese got even so far that he was closing every shape. So you just click in this, everything gets marked off that's in the shape, like the inks, and then you click on your Photoshop and say expand for 2 or for 4, and you put in the color in a layer beneath that. And the only thing you got to do is like click here and here, put in the background, click on the beard and put in the beard, and you don't have to do it manually. Like it's all taken care of. So I will wrap this up. I know there is some value in this video, but check this out. Like, I mean, I would have even done a separate purple tone here just to make it a bit darker, but it's not always necessary. And as you can see, beautiful colors, very simple. This is just what floats my boat. You should look at whatever floats your boat. If you're into black and white, do black and white. If your heroes or if your comics are colored in a different way, check out who colors them and try to copy and emulate that style so you can learn and evolve. And yeah, I think I was drawn to the style because I kind of like it a bit simpler. I like it moody, and I knew I couldn't spend all day coloring beautiful shapes on this babe. I was already occupied with writing and drawing and inking, and so I knew I wanted color, but I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. And even when I'm looking at these drawings are very simple. I would do them a bit more rendered, but that is why Andrew McLean has put out a fat, beautiful comic like this, and I have not, because probably he went all in on one thing, kept it simple, made it happen, did stick to his guns, and yeah, that was enough. So again, a long video. Let me show you, before we close it off, a second, the Watchmen. Some might find this ugly, but what I was intrigued about is that it was really, really moody, like really pulpy. The first time I was reading this, it wasn't really my cup of tea. But what I really loved, was check this out, like this beautiful night scene, and then Rorschach coming up here, like this is just beautiful. Come on, zoom in. Like, check this out. This is just a cityscape, and he gets in there, and simple coloring, and it works, and it's very fantastic. Like, it is, check this out. Also very simple, but very effective, very moody. And also, like, check this out for the street scenes. Here there are riots on the street, and there's just one tone over the beautiful drawings of Dave Gibbons. And but you're kind of, if these colors wouldn't be here, you wouldn't feel all, how do I say? I don't know, it kind of feels very pulpy, very 70s, 80s, but also very moody, real. It has its distinct tone, and it's very beautiful. So, and then here, when Dr. Manhattan goes to the moon, like beautiful, like this contrast, this pink tone and his blue, and then the realistic scenes. And yeah, as you can see, when we're in the real world, the colors are kind of real, but then they switch up to varying degrees to something like his blue light shines on them, and everything is just blue and green. And yeah, not everybody likes this, but for me, it was really cool. And so I was intrigued by how simple and beautiful the colors can be when your drawing and inking is on point. And I will wrap this up. It was already 20 minutes in, and we'll see us